In Berlin, European and Ukrainian leaders presented a united front ahead of the Alaska summit between US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. The talks focused on a coordinated approach to end the war in Ukraine while safeguarding both Ukrainian sovereignty and Europe's security. Chancellor Friedrich Merz set the tone for the meeting, declaring, "From a European and also from a German perspective, we are doing everything to seize every opportunity, including diplomatic ones, to finally bring an end to this terrible war." Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky echoed the commitment to diplomatic progress, detailing the scope of the day's engagements. Today, we are working with the Chancellor in 4 formats. First, we had a bilateral meeting. "Thank you. Everything you mentioned, we discussed," he said, adding a note of appreciation. "We thank Germany for this huge contribution to strengthening our state, our security, our air defence, and for the help we have received since the start of the war." The day also included meetings with European leaders, a conversation with President Trump, and further discussions on Ukraine's future security architecture within the coalition of the willing. Zelensky said these talks involved key figures such as Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte, French President Emmanuel Macron, and Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni. Since the previous week, he noted, leaders had been engaged in intense communications with counterparts from around the world who share a single objective: peace in Europe and beyond. Zelensky described how the discussions with President Trump led to agreement on a clear framework for moving forward. "We agreed on 5 principles or points, which Friedrich already mentioned. Thank you for taking a leading role," he said. These include ensuring Ukraine is always at the negotiating table, beginning the process with a bilateral ceasefire, providing robust security guarantees, preventing Russia from holding any veto over Ukraine's future in Europe or NATO, and applying or strengthening sanctions if Moscow refuses to agree to a ceasefire, he confirmed. President Trump confirmed this today and said he is on board. The Ukrainian leader then turned to the realities on the ground, delivering a direct assessment of Moscow's intentions. "Putin, this is nonsense. He is simply trying to push through at the front," Zelensky said, dismissing Russian claims that sanctions have failed. He insisted, "The sanctions we have are enormously helpful and hit Russia's military industry." While acknowledging Russia's advantage in artillery with 3 times more firepower, he stressed that the Kremlin's forces also suffer 3 times greater losses. Zelensky was unequivocal about Russia's goals. "Putin does not want peace. He wants to occupy us completely. We need pressure, pressure, pressure." Looking ahead, he revealed that Trump had suggested contacting him immediately after the Alaska summit to review the results and decide on next steps. The day's agenda ended with preparations for another meeting of the coalition of the willing. Zelensky closed with gratitude, saying, "That is our goal. That is what we are working for. I thank everyone who helps us."